Today we're going to learn how to add text to the snow globe shaker ornament. I am using Silhouette Business and will be transferring this file over to the Glowforge. The first thing I want to do is open our text box. So if you come over here to the A, the little line next to it, I'll wiggle that around a little bit so you can see. I will be using American Typewriter for the shaker pieces. So click on that and write whatever you would like to write. And if you notice, I'm doing this in purple. We want to do something other than black, so it will know to engrave this separately rather than cut out. So make sure it's a different color than black. We'll shrink it down. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. We'll shrink it down a little more. Bring it over here, see if it fits. Just about, a little bit more. Shrink it down. Now we're going to want to center this. So highlight both the name and the circle. We'll come up here. I'll go a little bit slow so you can see where I'm going. To these 3 lines. And if it's not up there, just come over here and look to the side. It probably is going to be on the side somewhere. And we're going to center it vertically and horizontally. Well, the very last thing we want to do, and this is very important so that it will show up on the Glowforge, click it. Now right click, scroll down. Do not forget to make these into a compound path. Now let's try something a little bit different. Let's go ahead and do, we're going to do cursive. I'll show you how to do if you want to do cursive. Write your name again. And so that you can kind of see what's happening here, I am going to do that. Let's zoom in a little more. If you see the E and the N, they're touching and there's a line in between all that. That's not what we want because we don't want that. So to get rid of that, we're gonna right click, scroll down until you find weld, and now it will have a nice clean edge. When it goes to etch that, shrink it down again. And when you weld, it generally sends it already to compound path, so you won't have to do that a second time. Bring it over here. I just like to fill it with purple. Highlight both the circle and the name. Come back up over here, make sure it's centered nice. And you'll repeat that for how many ever names you want on the pieces. So now let's work on what we want to put on this front. I am going to write Mary. Let's make sure this is clear so we can, let's start over. Now it looks like these are all welded together already, but they're not. So let's look at that. Let's clear that. See how they are not welded together yet. So we'll do this. We'll go down. We'll weld. Shrink it down. I also like to group this so that when I go to move it, it all stays in one nice piece. So I'm also going to group that. Now I can move it, kind of line it up a little bit, shrink it down a little bit more. And I'm also going to go ahead and fill that again. Right, so let's try this again. And even though it looks like it's welded, it's not. So click on it so that we can see that it is not welded. Weld, and I'm going to group it. Come down and group. I think I'll make this a little bit smaller than the Merry Christmas part. I'll fill it with purple. Let's do the year. And you can put whatever you want on this. You don't have to do this. So we can see it. And this doesn't really need to, there's nowhere that this needs to be welded, but we're gonna, I like to do it just for fun. Just to make sure everything is good. I'll make sure it is, let's go ahead and make that a compound path. So since it really didn't need to be welded, we still needed to make it a compound path. And and before we do anything, I double check to make sure all of this is all made into a compound path. Here we go, bring this guy up there, fill him in. Oh, I think I'll make him a little bit smaller, and just kind of move stuff around until you like it. And now we want to make sure everything is nice and even. So go like that. And now we want to make sure it's even on the snow globe. So even highlight the snow globe now. And then we'll go there. There we go. Now everything is nice and even. And you just mess with it until you like it. We're going to zoom out. And don't forget, before you save this and transfer it over to Glowforge, go ahead and just erase all this writing. You won't be needing that. And now you're ready to save. You'll go up here, save as, saved hard drive. Don't forget to come over here and save it as an SVG. Click SVG, and then you're going to click OK. And that is all. If you have any questions, feel free to message me, and I will help you. Have a good day.